Hey, what's up guys, it's Unleashed here today, and we are back with another video on Sonic Frontiers. And in today's video, yep, you guessed it, we got some more tweets from the director of Sonic Frontiers, Morio Kishimoto, about the DLC for Sonic Frontiers. And a lot of it is actually pretty darn interesting if I do say so myself. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a look at the news at hand. Onto Twitter, we Sonic Rush. So here we have the first tweet from Morio Kishimoto. This was from back in December, by the way. Belatedly, we prepared a trial version for the Switch version only, referring to Sonic Frontiers obviously. It will be distributed sequentially to each country from now on. If you're wondering whether to buy it, please play it once because it is good. You should notice that it's different from past Sonic games and other open world games. It's not too late to judge after experiencing it. So yeah, for those of you who don't already know, right now, for all countries by the way, because obviously a lot of time has passed since this tweet actually came out, there's a demo version of Sonic Frontiers now available. I don't know what you're wondering. Unfortunately, no. You cannot skip to Giganto with the Hedgehog Space program, whatever it's called, because as soon as you get the emerald on top of Giganto's head, the game, well, it crashes. So clearly they already knew about the Hedgehog Space program and decided to actually just remove the Supersonic boss altogether, so yeah. If you're still not sure about whether you want to buy Sonic Frontiers or not, even buy now is the time to go ahead and try it out if you're on the Switch version anyways. I mean, the Switch version is the worst version of the game, but still, it's still a version of the game at least. But the fact that there's a demo isn't the most interesting part of this tweet, because a couple of days ago, this person called Gypsy Day Incognito actually asked this question right here. Is it true that future Sonic games will experiment with boosts, spin dashes, and change the level design to a playstyle closer to Sonic Adventure? Then Kishimoto goes and responds with, the future, the very near future. I can't wait until the next work. We have already started experimenting. The results of that experiment should be shown to everyone at some point in the third update. Please look forward to it. So pretty much what we talked about, like, what was it, 1 or 2 weeks ago now? But Kishimoto said that he's going to start implementing some player feedback into the DLC for Sonic Frontiers. So right here, he's confirmed it's going to happen at some point in the third update. Now, it could just be a translation error here, but I find it weird how he says at some point in the third update. Like, what does he mean by at some point in the update? Like, surely it would just be in the third update, that's when it's going to happen. But no, he says at some point in the third update. So does that mean that these 3 updates are just going to be 3 updates to the game that you're going to have to do, but instead 3 waves of updates? I hope it does not mean that, because that would be kind of annoying. Like, for example, for update 1, there's like one small update first where you get the jukebox, whatever. Then a second small update, so part of update 1, you get the photo mode or whatever. Then there's third small update for update 1, then you finally get the challenge mode. So then I hope it's not like that, because that'd be a bit pointless, to be honest with you. I'd rather have them do it all in one, rather than making us wait in between each update. That might just be me, but yeah, I think I prefer to be patient and just get all 3 at once rather than having to wait for each one. But who knows, maybe that might not be a problem to some people. I don't know. But anyways, complaints aside there, it is pretty cool that we're going to see a lot of things in the update 3 then. Update 3 is really going to be a beefy update. I mean, we already kind of knew that with the multiple player characters and new story and everything like that, but still, whatever Kishimoto's been experimenting with, it's going to be shown in the third update. Now the question is, what has Kishimoto actually been experimenting with? Well, these next tweets could add a bit of a hint towards that, because we have a tweet right here from Sai Jaro. Morio Kishimoto, what are your thoughts on adding more spinball moves to Frontiers? I think the slide could be replaced with the roll, and I definitely agree with that, because the slide in Frontiers, I don't really see the point of it. Like, sure, it's kind of useful in combat, but apart from that, not really useful. I mean, for starters, the momentum that it had in Forces is gone. The slide just slows you down now, not actually speeds you up, which I find really bizarre. I mean, I know we have the drop dash and then the roll in 2D, but still, why remove the momentum from the slide? Something that's been in pretty much every single Sonic game since it's been introduced. I mean, Unleashed, Colors, Generations, Forces, but for Frontiers, they just remove the slide momentum. I find that really weird. And then, even with the slide being there, you never have to use it at all. There are no sections in the open zone or even in cyberspace where the slide is actually required. Now, there are stages in Frontiers where the originals had some sliding sections, but for some reason in Frontiers, they just remove the sliding sections. I don't get why they did that, man. Really don't get it. So yeah, essentially the slide is pretty much a useless move. Like, it's completely useless. There's no need for it at all. So replacing it with the roll, I don't see why that could be a bad idea. I mean, it would sure make rolling in 2D in cyberspace a lot easier than having to press the down stick when you're actually having to move forward. Really awkward in cyberspace to actually roll. And then not having to actually drop dash to roll in the open zone too. That could be very useful. And then even with the existing momentum in Frontiers already with the drop dash, having that with a roll instead, that could be very useful, man. And it's not like the drop dash would be useless after that, because the drop dash has a lot of uses. For example, climbing up mountains, especially in the ice sections in Chaos Island, very useful there. And then in a lot of scenarios, especially in 2D, the drop dash is actually faster than using the boost for that little boost you get from the drop dash. So yeah, it's actually still very useful with the roll even being there. But anyways, that's that little tangent. Let's just carry on with the tweet. If you're running and tap slide, you would roll instead. I'd also like to see the drift return as a spin move like Generations. Thoughts? Yeah, I have a big disagree right there. I much prefer the approaching colours and Unleash with the animation there compared to the rolling Generations to drift, because it just looks a lot cooler in Frontiers, Unleashed, and colours already. I mean, I know drifting kind of sucks in Frontiers anyways, but even still, it has the Unleashed style animation for it, which looks pretty cool in my opinion. But then Kishimoto actually replies with him with, yes, I am thinking the same as you. We're working on it, so please wait for a while. I'll do my best to meet you somewhere in the 3rd update. And there we go with the somewhere in the update 3, which is once again very weird, but he just confirmed right there that in update 3, we're going to be getting the spin dash in Frontiers. And actually, if you look inside the code of Frontiers, there are a lot of things that actually relate to the spin dash in terms of animations there. We can see this tweet from Facts Frontiers. By the way, a really good account for a lot of unused stuff in Frontiers, so if you want to see some more facts about Frontiers, go ahead and follow them right now. But anyways, you can see right here, spin dash charge start animation. I know it's a still image, but there's actually an animation right there. And then we got another one right here, spin dash charge loop animation. And then they say here, these do get used for the drop dash, by the way, so it stands to reason that they probably repurposed the animation based on the name. Context, that the spin dash parameters for Sonic in its physics RFL. I have seen some ideas of how the spin dash could actually be activated. A lot of people are suggesting basically just pressing the crouch button, because it's actually a crouch in Frontiers, and spamming the boost button to charge up and then let go, obviously, to release the spin dash. And that's just a great idea, to be honest with you. I mean, I wouldn't be confused with Sonic Boom on the left trigger, even though Sonic Boom only works in the air, but oh well. But that would be that you can't do a spam dash like in Sonic Adventure 1. It'd be more like Sonic Adventure 2 where you have to actually stand still and actually perform it. Even the classic games, to be honest with you, so I don't really see that as much of a problem. Just make sure that the spin dash is actually pretty fast. Like, the boost is already pretty slow in the game, so make the spin dash actually fast, and then it'd be more acceptable for you to actually have to stand still and actually use it rather than having to spam it like in SA1. Right, this last tweet isn't anything related to Update 3, it's just more so something that I thought that was actually pretty cool. So we have right here, Star Marine 10... Wait, is that an O? Is that a Twitter font? I don't know. 108. Hey Moro Kishimoto, I hope you're doing well. I have a question about homing dash. Was it a mechanic you knew didn't exist until you saw someone else doing it, or was it on purpose? Also, what's your favourite cyberspace truck? Truck? Okay, that obviously means track there. Then surprisingly, Kishimoto responds with, hello, I knew about the homing dash during production, but I didn't make it intentionally, but I left it as a technique. This decision was made with the idea that, just like the Hadou Shoryuken in Street Fighter 2, one day you'll find yourself having more fun with it. Honestly, not gonna lie, that's a very, very respectable move. The homing dash is probably one of my favourite moves to do in the game, and it's not even an intended one either, but Kishimoto kept it in there even though it's actually a glitch, so that's pretty cool, honestly. That is really cool. It makes cyberspace a lot more fun in terms of speedrunning, in my opinion, because without the homing dash, Sonic's aerial movement is kind of stiff because he can barely get any distance, but with the homing dash, you can clear significant distances with it, and I find that pretty cool, to be honest with you. Gives me vibes of the Force's air boost, but obviously a lot more skill required to actually use it properly. Who knows? Maybe Kishimoto might make an actual official move so they can actually make some platforming around it. Just saying, Kishimoto, that would be pretty sick. Just saying. Maybe put in some sort of super hard mode where you actually have to use a homing dash to get to some certain platforms. Just saying, Kishimoto, that would be pretty sick. That would be pretty sick. Anyways, that about does it for today's video. So yes, update 3 for Frontiers. It's looking pretty big, man. It's looking pretty big. I mean, with Knuckles, Tails, and Eevee being playable, the new story, the final boss possibly being changed, now the spin dash as well, and the roll. It's looking insane, man. It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big one. But what do you guys think of this news? Do you think that the spin dash is going to be implemented into Update 3? Let me know down below. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, especially that last one. Don't forget to become unleashed. Pressing that join button down below. And remember, it's not necessary. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.